On December 12th, Honey misses a board meeting at her hospital foundation without notifying them beforehand. This is highly unusual for her. Reached by email, Honey says, "I'm dealing with some stuff." The next day, Honey meets Barry at work to discuss design plans for a new house they're constructing. She drives home, and Barry leaves the office a little later. It's the last day the Shermans are seen alive.
So Barry and Honey were in the process of selling their home, and it was a real estate agent who came by the house on December 15th.
The Shermans' real estate agent is showing the home to two prospective buyers. They're touring this big, magnificent home, and now it's time for the lap pool, the hot tub area. And they walk into this horrific scene where they discover the homeowners have been killed in this room.
Barry was seated with his legs outstretched in front of him. The one was crossed over the other. His glasses were sitting on his face untouched.
They had belts tied around their necks, hanging from the railing around the pool. They're both almost in this seated position. It's very strange.
The manner in which the bodies were discovered is indicative of what's known as a low hang. You're going to stage a crime scene to look like a murder-suicide, a very expedited, convenient method to use for the offender.
One eerie detail about the scene: the positions of Barry and Honey's bodies nearly match those of a sculpture of human figures sitting on speakers in the basement.
This was clearly done expressively. Is this done as some sort of message that only a handful of people would understand? Or is this done strictly for some perverse gratification to further degrade the victims in death?
After initially investigating the scene, the police can't say definitively if it's a homicide or murder-suicide.
The first investigators on the scene would have no doubt been a little perplexed. This was not the type of scene that they were accustomed to seeing.
The cause of death for both Shermans was ligature neck compression, with the only presented options being double suicide, homicide-suicide, or double homicide.
Now we have to consider, was this murder or was this suicide? And also we have the fact that there's no forced entry into the home.
The fact that there's no forced entry, the offender was known to the Shermans and was allowed entry, or got the drop on Honey Sherman when she arrived home and essentially forced his way in.
The Sherman family is not convinced this is a murder-suicide. They hire a famous lawyer, Brian Greenspan, to conduct a parallel investigation. The lawyer assembles his own team of private investigators and forensic specialists, and even conducts a new autopsy. The second pathologist hired to look at the bodies determines it's unlikely Barry or Honey died by suicide. Furthermore, the abrasions found on Barry and Honey's wrists indicate that they may have been handcuffed, possibly with something like zip ties.
The second pathologist was able to extrapolate that the scene had been staged just from the data he was able to acquire from the autopsies.